All right.
Mo.
All right. We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the End Times channel. I should have said, hello, friends and enemies. I already messed up. Welcome to the End Times channel. This is Miss Mayor, Mayor of Wasteland City. And today we're going to introduce my mayoral cabinet as well as the Wastelander of the month. So, first up, we have Mr. Fahrenheit.
Hello, I am Mr. Fahrenheit, Nightmare of Wasteland City.
And we also have the interpreter.
Why am I getting nervous? Hi.
Because you giggle.
The interpreter. First asshole, chief of staff, all that fun stuff.
And we have the Wastelander of the month, Team Rocket. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself, Team Rocket?
Hi, everyone. I'm just your everyday normal 29-year-old who happened to find this post-apocalyptic event and then completely became obsessed.
I don't know. I think you're rather exceptional. How's everybody doing tonight?
I just threw shrimp across my house, so.
Okay, so it's an average Monday, throwing shrimp across the house.
Both versions of that statement were correct.
Yeah.
Drinking tea.
Which is not a euphemism. So yeah, welcome everybody. We're gonna talk about some goings on in the community. We're gonna get to know Team Rocket a little bit. And yeah, we're probably gonna go off. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting night.
Please stay on topic the entire time. We're fully capable of that.
This is a test of whether you can decipher a lie.
All right,
Good idea.
Let's start. So, some of the things going on in the community, and I want you guys all to weigh in on this. We have, of course, tomorrow, tickets for Neotropolis go on sale. Neotropolis is, of course, the new event that is being put on by the folks at Wasteland World Inc. It is a cyberpunk and sci-fi event. I just did a video on it. Tickets go on sale. Tickets are $150. And if you get on early, you can get that price. Does anyone remember the cutoff time? Because there is a cutoff time when tickets become $180.
I
haven't seen that myself.
I just am one of those people who know they go on sale tomorrow.
Yeah, get
You're
it on that
talking to way too many volunteers on right now.
That's all you guys should know.
It's not. We don't remember that sort of thing.
Well, you can check out the official website for that info. Yeah, it's going to be, the tickets go on sale tomorrow, but the event happens in April. Are you guys going to be attending Neotropolis?
I did actually make a request for the time off to go. I'm hoping I can make it. One of my really exciting things that I'm super happy about is if I do the on-site build for Neotropolis, I will be spending my 30th birthday out at the Wasteland site building the event.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That's pretty cool.
So glam, so glitz. And as a quick note,
I'm certain we'll get everything built, even though it will be still a party.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a quick note, the discount ends on the 14th of February.
There you go.
Oh, Valentine's Day. That's easy to remember.
Yes.
The day before my birthday. Yeah.
Wow, what an
Happy
occasion.
almost birthday.
Thank you. Another trip around the sun. I haven't died yet. Sounds like a success.
As the widespread disease panic goes across the earth right now.
Yes, we actually just got notice that it's in my city.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. I didn't even find out, but see, we're already off topic. I didn't even know about that until like maybe 30 minutes ago that I was like, oh, we're all gonna die.
It's theoretically topical if the apocalypse happens due to coronavirus.
Yeah, we have to talk about the coronavirus.
Yeah, but you've also been to Wasteland multiple times.
Yeah.
If you haven't died from the Wasteland dust and the dust storms and the wind, the W, no, you're fine.
It's fine.
Interpreter.
It's fine.
I'm not on site, so it's fine.
I encourage you to say wind and say fuck you to the gods. Also, I don't know that we're supposed to swear on stream. I apologize.
Oh, that's absolutely fine.
Magnificent.
Don't even worry about it. We're not monetized. So
Yay, we're not making any money for this.
yeah, there is a superstition, a long-standing superstition at Wasteland that you're not supposed to say the W word, which is wind, because it's supposed to invoke the wind god. Every year it happens
if you're
anyway.
on site. Yeah, if you're not on site, you can say wind all you want. But also, if you use the discount code WIND when you buy your Neotropolis tickets, the prices will still be the same.
Yeah, but stay away from the bat soup.
Oh yeah.
One of the fun things we do for build crew a lot of times was we had a build crew member who was always out there, and his name is Bill Brown. So one day we decided it was Bill Brown's fault whenever the wind kept up. So we would say, "Fuck you, Bill." Fuck the Bill.
That's another thing, if you guys don't know. Team Rocket does a whole lot of things at Wasteland, including volunteering all the time. And you have an official position there, do you not?
Yes, I do. Last year before Wasteland, Adam had decided it was finally. Adam, of course, the people who are new, probably watching this, are first years. Adam is one of the creators of Wasteland, and Adam had decided one of the things that needed to get done for Wasteland was a bunch of organizational stuff. So we knew where stuff was, we knew what we had, and I somehow ended up in charge of that. So I am the quartermaster of Wasteland Weekend, or as lovingly so called, I am the mistress of the depot.
Team Rocket says somehow, but what that actually means is by being there every single weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. During the week.
I already knew where everything was, so it was just easy to put me in charge of it.
She's like, oh, I know where that battery is. I put that there. Also, fun fact, Adam's Wasteland name is Axel.
What? I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah. Adam is Axel.
Yeah, he does have a Wasteland name.
Yes. I don't know if it was self-given or not, but he has a Wasteland name.
He also has an older brother. Interpreter, do you remember his name?
His older brother?
Yeah. Was it Gearshaft or Crankshaft or...
I gotta remember what you're talking about, but I don't remember. I know Adam has a doppelganger that he switched out with and had his body double for a spot.
That's his twin. That's his twin. They're identical.
That's a pussy.
Fraternal.
Really twins?
You should definitely believe everything that the interpreter and Fahrenheit tell you.
Oh my god, if you're full of shit,
he breaks a lot of axles.
Because I'm so gullible.
Listen, if you don't,
you know what? I'm not going to get sidetracked because
if you don't believe us, ask Adam who his little sister is. Yeah, Adam has a little sister too. So,
do you think we can get Adam on here?
I mean, yeah.
Just say no.
Totally.
Probably not.
Right now, or
make
right
him
now, or in
of the month
future?
next month.
Not right now. I have to get ready if we're gonna do that. So the other event that's happening besides
Neotropolis,
which I don't remember how many of you answered who is going and who's not.
I will. I intend Fahrenheit. To go. I'm doing enough building of the skeleton of the city that it would be silly if I did not go and at least try to do neon LED things.
Yes.
Oh, really? So all of you guys are volunteering and helping build this thing, except for me.
I like
right?
build days. Even though I haven't been yet this year.
Yes, that's accurate. That's an accurate sentence.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun. I'm good at building the skeleton of the structure because I have no fear of heights and am fairly nimble. And the last time I was there, I was learning how to do the neon pieces. So I hope to do more of that in the future.
So if you guys end up going to Neotropolis and you see all these structures, you have these 3 to thank for it. I did absolutely nothing. But keep in mind, I know a lot of people have been scared off by the price. You can get in absolutely free if you volunteer. Volunteer applications are actually, I think they're open now, if I'm correct. And if you volunteer, you give your time, you can get into the event free. So it's always something to consider.
Yeah, I know they're doing build crew applications already. I don't know if general volunteering has gone live. But they certainly posted on Neotropolis Central when that does happen.
I like Neo Central. Yeah. Neo Central's a better name.
I would just call it Cyber Noodle. I
Yeah,
don't
it's always
believe
going to be Cybernoodle or Spaceland Weekend.
Spaceland Weekend.
Spacelander.
Spaceland Weekend is a personal project.
Yeah. I do not believe performer applications are live yet
Missed
either.
opportunity. Stay tuned on
We
that.
really
and,
wanted to when we were tearing down.
Besides the website, you can
Wasteland
keep
City.
up to date.
Oh. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait, what?
Oh,
So when we were tearing down
Go
Wasteland
ahead.
City, we really wanted to take the moment to actually take a giant flag and put it over the Wasteland gates, and the part that said waste, we want to change it to space, and actually take a picture and put, hey guys, look, the main gates for Spaceland Weekend are up. But we knew someone would take that joke way too seriously and probably get very upset about it. So we were just like, we ended up not doing that. But just a fun little fact that we wanted to play a joke on everybody.
Wait, you mean that people that attend Wasteland sometimes get real serious and can't joke about things?
Yeah. They're totally most people who can just have fun, lighthearted fun constantly.
Whoa.
I would never have expected that from the Facebook groups.
Oh.
By the way, you guys, don't worry about interrupting me. These guys, they hear my voice all the time. They're sick of the shit. They want to hear you guys. Other event before we get too sucked into this Spaceland thing is Winter Games. And Winter Games is an interesting one. I have some footage of it on the channel. So some of you guys are interested in repetitively asking if kids are allowed, which they have been in the past. I do not know for sure if they are this year because things always change. But the Winter Games is an unofficial Wasteland event. It is put on by the Juggers at George's Air Force Base. There's a Jugger game. Lore shenanigans happen. It's cold. I almost died one year. And I also got something stuck in my eye last year and wanted to die. And it's happening again this year. I don't know the exact dates because they have been slightly pushed back. So more news on that when it is announced. There's going to be some changes this year. I don't know what they are for sure. Supposedly, they're going to work on getting access into the ruins that are around the area. It's not confirmed yet. They've been talking about wanting to do that for a while because there's actually George's Air Force Base hosts a lot of airsoft events and stuff where people do have access to those buildings. I have been in them and they're trying to do that. So it should be really interesting. It's supposed to be bigger, better, and uncut. So how many of you guys are going to be attending Winter Games or thinking about it?
I'm definitely
Was
thinking
that an
about
alcohol opening?
Ooh, who's doing the alcohol?
Sabatini!
It is a Monday night.
Mr. Fahrenheit.
I can neither confirm nor deny the veracity of that
Are
statement.
Are you drinking a Cali Creamin'?
No, though I could. There is certainly one in my fridge.
Should I go open a White Claw?
Bottles.
Yes.
Do it.
You should. Wait, do you have black cherry?
Laws.
I don't know. Let me go find out. Okay.
What does it matter? They all taste like perfume.
No.
You don't drink them for flavor.
I've
black
never
cherry
had a
tastes
White Claw.
slightly better.
I'm proud of that.
And mango tastes slightly worse.
You've never had a White Claw?
I've never had White Claw. I have this great picture posted on the Den Facebook group of me and a bunch of White Claw cans. I did not partake in any of those cans of White Claw.
I am drinking a raspberry one that it's from Denver. I had a case delivered to me at Wasteland from Mickey Bang Bang of the Skullduggers.
The Khan of the Mighty Tribe Skulldugger himself.
The Khan. Sorry, the Khan of the Mighty Tribe Skulldugger. He brought me a
know
case.
He had a Wasteland name. I'm so sorry.
What? Really?
That's so great to find out. I thought he was just Mickey Bang Bang.
Well, that is his Wasteland name, but he has a title.
That's his name. He has no other name. It's Mickey Bang Bang.
It's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah, Khan of the Mighty Skullduggers. He'll tell you, if you ask him, he'll tell you the backstory, years and years old. I just opened my White Claw from Denver. It's raspberry flavored. And the only reason I still have this from Wasteland is because all of my alcohol got dropped off at my campmate's house, Trail Boss. And she was like, oh, here you go at Tribesmoot, and gave me like a case of stuff. I was like, oh, this is everything I didn't drink at Wasteland. So that's why I still have it.
It's that old?
Yeah.
Sorry to judge
Wasteland
you.
Wasteland was not that long ago. It's okay.
Yeah.
We haven't even hit halfway yet.
Seltzer doesn't go bad that fast.
No.
Oh god.
I mean,
and it's not, it's not great to begin with, But on the
Hold on,
bright
let me find the
side, it
expiration
is
date.
calorically responsible.
It says
Well, I think at
06.
Neotropolis.
Yeah, the expiration
Go
date
on.
says 06/44/03. I
You
don't
should
know.
love Cali Creamin' because Cali Creamin' is phenomenal. And if you have the opportunity,
yeah.
you should mix it with
Peanut butter
stout. Correct.
Oh my god, you guys are monsters.
No, it's
I
Oh,
think
so
at
good.
neat. I
Neotropolis
just saw we got
we
like
You're
should
a
not
comic.
wrong.
absolutely only. What? Oh yeah, see, I put it up on screen. Isn't that
Hey,
fancy?
Rook Maverick,
super
I love
fancy.
Cali Creamin' too.
I mean, you're not wrong. We are monsters, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. No.
I think at Neotropolis the hard fast rule should be, since it's the future, we should only drink seltzer water.
Oh, that sounds terrible. I don't want that. I'm a hard left on
No.
that one, Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your own.
Fine, more for me anyway.
I'm just gonna call it
So-
cyber water and make it glow. Oh, and the interpreter. Strong play. Koozies with LEDs on the bottom to light up your drink.
Boom. I have a koozie
Oh,
from. Yeah, I'm currently using a koozie from the Elton John tour.
Oh, glam.
Mm-hmm.
Is it bedazzled?
No, but it's bright yellow. I
Doesn't
don't
it
care if
seem
you don't like
wrong?
peanut butter stout, Rook Maverick. Psh.
Doesn't it seem kind of wrong that there's like a beer koozie when Elton John has been sober for so long?
You know, that
No,
is-
I think he's genius, and he's like, you know what? I don't do this, but here you go.
True.
Yeah.
That's also.
Yeah, it's sort of like how the former Mayor Heist doesn't drink, but he will enjoy the scent of a fine drink.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying really hard not to talk about the movie Rocket Man. So,
Which I did not see, but I heard was
I haven't seen it.
excellent.
Here, wrap that back around. So instead of talking about Rocket Man, go back to Team Rocket. Oh,
You're-
what?
You're
Team
right.
Rocket at Spaceland, which has Rocket.
What a segue. Are you still going to call yourself Team Rocket at Neotropolis?
No, I actually do have a new name for Neotropolis. I do want to go by Bee, and that's like the little insect, so BEE. And I don't really have much of a backstory yet, but I do. That is the name I have picked.
I don't know.
Unlike my Wasteland name, I was given my Wasteland name.
You already have a
Um,
bit of lore about you, as I seem to recall.
I do, but
I
I,
also
think
have
I
a
might
little
change that up.
rant.
What?
I have a little rant.
Go on.
All right, Yeah,
Tell us
you
your
guys-
little rant.
I'm gonna sip my
So-
tea while this rant goes on.
Yeah, sip your tea. All y'all with your like, I'm gonna have a name for this event. I'm gonna have a name for that event. I'm gonna have a different name on my social media. I'm gonna have a different name on my Instagram. I'm gonna have a different. You get one name. I will learn one name. And I know I'm not the only person on this train, but tell me the one that you really, really like. I will try my best to do that. If you do not want me to use your real life name, I will try not to. But you get one because I don't. There's so many Wastelanders, and there's gonna be so many Spacelanders. I don't have the mental capacity to learn names and like remember to feed myself on a regular basis.
That's true. You are
Like-
a goldfish.
Oh yeah.
I will
Goldfish.
thirsty-
That's an excellent wasteland name.
Oh yeah. I am
love,
such an ADD goldfish.
yeah.
I will try very
I love
hard,
learning
but
people's names.
yeah. Thank you, Lady Fahrenheit. Thank you for
Yes.
hearing me.
I will.
I almost got in a
will-
fight with
yeah.
somebody last year over a name.
Oh no!
I
Oh,
mean,
no, go
I
ahead.
fake-
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I fake
They've
got in a
heard,
fight
they've heard
with
the
somebody.
story.
I
But
fake
I
got
will
in
over
make
a
a
a
fight
point
with
to like.
yeah.
I'll learn someone's real name. I'll have like a nickname for them, like my own personal nickname. I'll learn their wasteland name. I'm gonna learn their spaceland name. So it's hilarious sometimes when I'm talking about people I know or people I've been talking with, because I will refer to them as one name, and then like a couple minutes later, I'll refer to them as another name, and then the people I'm talking to will just sit there and be like, "Wait, are you talking about the same person?" And I'm like, "Yes, you." It's so bad with me.
I had a really deep
I'm
conversation
horrible
with
with
someone
names.
last year about that. You're horrible with names?
Like
Is it
I
because you
have-
know
I
like
have a-
everyone?
I don't know.
I'm
But like I have to say it in my head like multiple times, and then I ask people, I'm like, okay, how do you spell it? And I have these things that I do so that I can remember it. Otherwise, I'm like, I can't remember your name, but I can tell you what we talked about. I can tell you what your favorite food is. I can tell you your cat's name. Like I can tell you all this other stuff, but I can't remember your name.
What's
I
my
have-
cat's name?
Your cat meows a lot, and you're not sure if it's deaf or not, but I can't remember its name.
I have
Oh, you're
an excellent
good.
memory, but if I've been drinking, I will not remember your name.
Yeah.
I had a
Oh.
moment last year where I was having a very deep conversation with someone and it got like really emotional. And then after she was done, she was like, "What's your real name?" Like after we had this moment, and I was like, I realized like, oh my God, I don't know her real name either.
Actually, I know that we're currently on B/Winter Games, but it occurs to me that you didn't answer your own initial question, Ms. Will you be attending Neotropolis/Spaceland?
Yeah. I plan on it so far. I'm supposed to get a ticket. I already need to clear my throat. I'm supposed to get a ticket as a gift, and I'm really banking on that because this girl is broke AF. So we'll see. I plan on it. I have a concept. I'm not going to talk much about because I'm going to do a whole video on that. If I don't go, it'll be real embarrassing after I do that. But hey, I'm planning on going as of right now, and I'm planning on going to the Winter Games as I am a longtime jugger-fugger of one particular jugger, so I have to go.
That'll
Jugger
be
lovin'.
I mean, yeah.
that'll be fun. We'll have a dual mayoral presence at the Winter Games, as opposed to Heist showing up at the dead of night on Saturday.
I mean,
honestly-
at least he's consistent.
That is
Yeah.
true. I know what to expect.
Yeah.
A little bit of heist goes a long way, though, so that says a lot about his character. that like, even when he's late, though, everybody has memories of him and stuff. So like, that just says a lot about his character. I feel like nobody has a bad thing to say about him, much like Team Rocket.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're changing the date of the Winter Games. Everybody who watches this channel has seen the video where I talk about how I almost died because I got like bronchitis. I think it was the year before last.
Was it the one when it was pouring rain, or was it the one when it got down to 19 degrees?
It was when it was pouring.
Degrees.
It was pouring rain.
That was 2
Wasn't
years
that
ago.
3 years? Was that 2 or 3?
I don't know.
It was.
So
I don't
last
know.
year was last year was St. Patrick's Day.
The year before that was Get
19
Drunk,
degrees.
Bitch.
Was 19
Yeah,
degrees.
the year
And before
was 3
that
years
was the
ago then.
deluge.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh
Wow.
my God, it haunted me so much. I thought it was the year before because last year I had a great time. The year before that, I got something stuck in my eyeball.
I remember this.
It was absolutely horrible. Yeah, I remember. I got like, I'm one of those people where I'm like an animal where I get hurt, where I get kind of mad because I remember. I remember
It's inconveniencing.
Yeah, I remember this girl was trying to help me and she was like trying to grab my face. I'm like, don't touch me, get away from me. I was trying to wash out my eye. And she's like, let me help you. And I was like, I just met you today. Like, don't poke at my eyeball.
That was me.
Was it you?
No. I would have been like, I'd be like, here's saline solution. Flush your eyeball out.
She was grabbing my face. I was like, get away.
No, the interpreter would have asked if you wanted to amputate and then claimed she had a bone saw.
Oh, I would have. I was also super mad that year because that was when I lost my bidding of the VIP car.
Oh, and, how I know that life.
Also, Fahrenheit, you finally got one. Stop crying.
Yeah, after I made the largest bid in LCC history.
But they wrote a song about you.
Well, no, they wrote a song about my breakfast, which had already existed.
But they wrote that song about you to make you feel special.
It was sweet.
Well, yeah,
I almost
it.
cried at Tribe when I heard it.
I totally did cry the first time I heard Breakfast at Fahrenheit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. I was crying and hugging Lita, and she was just kind of stoically standing there. But
as she does.
The year before, I'm not gonna spend the whole video talking about this because everybody's heard this story. But we were in our tent, we were having a good time. I was with friends, and then all of a sudden I look, and the floor is completely covered in water, and I was like, "Wow, I got to get out of here." So I was completely soaked. I went into everybody, Team Rocket knows our tribe mate Zeno's tent. I was like, "Can we stay in here? Because this tent is ruined." He's like, "Sure." So then we were sitting in there, but I was soaking wet. And then Cub, who is a very good Wastelander, he's a great guy. He arrived. And it was like 3 a.m. I was like, oh, I want to get out and see him. So then I went out into the rain, got more soaked. And then I had terrible bronchitis.
Yeah, my understanding it was pouring.
That had to have been
Yeah,
Friday.
It was the
It
Friday
was-
night
it was-
because I
Yeah,
got
it
there
was.
Saturday day.
Yeah. I remember with the casino, we were all going to go out on Friday, and they're like, oh, flash flood warning. And so we're like, just kidding. We will be there Saturday.
Yeah, I arrived there early and I was scouting it out and I was like, wow, it's flooded. So I messaged my entire tribe and was like, hey, don't come down here because there's no reason to. And they insisted on coming anyway. Like I thought I was lying to them and having a great time. So then
Yeah,
they got stuck in like
Don't come out, guys. I don't want you to steal my good time. It's a blast.
So
so
I
I
actually
just remember
hate
they
you.
all
That's why we're in a tribe together.
yeah, like I remember they all shut up and they're like, wow, that sucked. I'm like, yeah, really? Like, what did you think? And our tribe mate, the nude queen, talked about how she's not gonna well, she won't care that I share this story. During that storm, which was called, wasn't it called like we called it like Lucifer's Revenge or something, Hurricane Lucifer. And she was stuck on the road and she needed to pull on the side of the road to take a shit. And she said that while she was doing it. She said while she was doing it, the wind was like blowing, like pushing her like the wrong direction. She was like, like powering through it in the wind.
Everything about this sounds bad.
Yeah, she said it was pretty epic. And then everybody arrived and complained.
I want to backtrack to the nude queen. Is she going to Spacelander Weekend or Neotropolis? And is she just going to wear noodles?
You know, she said she was going to. I have to talk to her and see if she's still going. I know she's doing a lot of schooling and stuff and trying to get her real life together. So she did have some cool concepts. I won't spill it out here, but hopefully maybe we can get her on here sometime. She's an interesting fellow. And I say that in a gender neutral way.
I will learn both of their names as long as it's just spelt differently, but it's still nude and nude.
I think it's probably nude spelled with zeros.
Yeah, it is. Oh, ooh, like elite version of nude.
Yes.
So the Winter Games, Neotropolis, those are the ones coming up. There's also the Wastelanders Ball. Do you guys know the exact date about that? Because I will actually not be attending this year. So if you guys know more information, please take it away.
It will be February. Yeah, it's a weekday. It's
no leap
February,
day, like February 29th.
Leap. I thought you said weekday, and I'm like, yep, it's a Wednesday. Yes, it's February 29th at the Globe again. Hell Sirens will be performing. Wretched Embers will be performing. I believe Marley Monroe will be performing again.
Ooh.
And the downstairs will be Cyberpunk, while the upstairs, I believe, will be Full Wasteland.
Yes, there's some surprises that they have in store. Not fully sure what all of them are yet or not, but it should be a pretty good time.
Will you guys be attending? Because I will not be there, so we might have to do a wrap-up video where you guys fill everybody in on what happened there.
My shameless self-plug was talking about how Wretched Embers will be performing, so yes, I will be there.
I actually got asked to the ball by my partner, so I will be going. I also have someone else in mind that I want to be asking as well, but I'm waiting to ask him too. But I'm super excited because I did get asked to go to the ball, so I am 100% going to be trying to go.
So glamorous.
So I guess you're not asking me. Is there a Wastelander named Meowth? Because that would be perfect.
That's right.
Is whoever
there is not, but not in total canon, but just on the same energy level as me. If anyone knows the Wastelander Primo is my so dubbed Meowth at the moment.
Primo's like the male version of you, actually. Oh my gosh.
I mean, he does have that very
thought about that.
soft, furry coat too.
I mean, I've never seen him pour milk all over himself, but you know, he's still feral.
Yet.
I mean, yet.
And yes, as it is a night,
he will be at Winter Games, I'm assuming. So if we bring the milk, he will perform.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm also just making this up and volunteering him, but I think he would do it. We switched skirts at Tribesmoo, and basically he has informed me that
he looked beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish I did that skirt as much justice as he did. But he has informed me that he's always joking unless somebody calls his bluff. So.
Oh.
Yes.
Good to know.
As it is a night-based event, I imagine that I will be skulking around somewhere.
Yelling at people to get drunk.
No,
So,
probably
if
not.
you
Drinks are
guys are
usually
thinking about
expensive, so I will
attending-
not force that on them.
yes, they are. I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah, if you decide to go, make sure you bring a full wallet because usually they have exclusive merch and stuff, which is pretty cool. And the drinks are quite expensive, so go enjoy yourself. Watch Wretched Embers. Go cheer on the interpreter. Go say hi to Mr. Fahrenheit, and yeah, go get a prom style picture with Team Rocket.
Oh.
I would
I
love
have
to
one
take
of
a
those.
picture with whoever wanted one with me. Yes, I love our picture together.
Should we take a mayoral cabinet and first Wastelander of the year photo?
I mean, you
We
can,
can,
but I won't be
But
there.
By
Miss Mayor
February,
won't be
there'll be
there.
another Wastelander of
No.
the month, too.
Just because she's
That's
not there
right.
doesn't mean she won't be there. We've solved this problem before, interpreter.
Oh, yes.
I'm like the wind. Just
I'm
because you
pointing
can't see
at
it
you
doesn't
right
mean
now
it isn't
that
there.
Yeah, I'm pointing at you, Mr. Fahrenheit. I know what you're talking about. I got you.
Excellent.
Like, yeah.
Don't worry, we'll
Why
have
did
it rain.
Why did I quote Small Soldiers?
Small Soldiers is a phenomenal movie.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I have bad memories regarding that movie. So, those are the latest events that are coming up. I can't think of any other ones. And I think those are both unofficial and official. So, stay tuned for that stuff. So, let's turn the focus to Team Rocket. So,
That's
Team
right.
Rocket,
Yes.
how long have you been going to Wasteland and post-apocalyptic events in general?
This past Wasteland was my 5th year going. As for just
2015. What?
as for post-apocalyptic stuff in general, this was the first event or anything like that I have done, and I have done all the side events or just anything like Wasteland related or unofficial since then. So before I found Wasteland, I had nothing.
So you started in 2015, which is interesting because like most of the tribe that we have, Team Rockets and the Death Caps, most of them started in 2015 actually. I think most of the people in my like major friend group started that year for whatever reason. That was like a year of a lot of growth, I feel like.
That was the Fury
Yes,
Road year.
big
So
year. Yeah.
That's right. So, do you have any events besides Wasteland that you'd like to go to? I know there's other post-apocalyptic events out there that are not too far away. There's stuff like Festivals of Ash, Uranium Springs, what have you. Even stuff that's way further. Is there any that have kind of caught your attention? Or are you solely in love with Wasteland?
Uranium Springs is one that I have seen that I would like to try and go to, mainly because I do know Axel loves to take his flamethrower out there, and I've always wanted to see that. I see it sitting in his studio every time I go to a build day, and I'm like, one of these days, I'll get to play with that too.
I'll let you know. Uranium Springs is a great time, and the flamethrower is a delight.
I will also say, if you see Adam running towards the flamethrower, run the opposite direction.
Oh yes, I've known that. I've learned surprisingly, even though the role is safety third for build crew, I've learned quite a lot of safety stuff, and that's one of the big ones. If Adam's doing something, maybe very watch what he's doing because it's definitely wise.
Oh, if you ever see Adam,
also if Adam, if you see Adam running, look at what he's running at, and then maybe run the opposite direction.
Because Adam does not run.
No. And if he's yelling, just be like, "Oh, oops, out, other way."
But yeah,
so
Uranium Springs.
I know there's.
Oh, sorry. Uranium Springs is a great time. It's a lot quieter than our other events, and I often like to liken it to basically the vacation town for Wasteland City dwellers. You have a lot more time to relax and talk to people and sort of interact with people you normally wouldn't without having to be like on a schedule all the time going from one thing to the other.
It's what Wasteland was, from what I've heard, what Wasteland was back in 2010, 2011, the early years. One of the things that I really enjoyed about when I went is that when there's a performance, everybody is there watching that performance. And when there's something going on, everybody is there doing that thing. There's not really competing. There's if someone's performing, you're doing that. They're not at the casino. They're not doing their own thing. It's like, hey, how can we all support each other and do this thing together? And that's what I thought was really rad and awesome.
That's very cool. It makes it feel more personal, I think. I really want to go. I had planned on going this year. I started a new job, so I don't even know when it takes place. This time around, I gotta get back on track with that. It looks very cool. It takes place in Arizona, if I didn't mention that before.
It is at the furthest end of Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about 10 hours away from SoCal.
I believe Reverend Lawless is the runner of that event.
Yeah,
that is correct. Rev is, and one of his big goals with Uranium Springs and his similar events is that he actually really encourages that sort of small community feel. So you get that sort of personal touch, and he doesn't really plan to do a lot of expansion because he really wants to maintain that built-in community.
That is also why they brought the rec room to Wasteland, though, was to help the Uranium Springs people have as like their safe space, kind of like, hey, these are all the people that you know, and this is what you do. And the rec room is a big part of Uranium.
Yeah, they have a whole area set up. No, they do have a whole area set up. Yeah,
that's absolutely correct. The rec room is definitely the heart of Uranium Springs, in my opinion. It's the hangout during the day place. It's the you're on McAwful's meal plan. It's where fuck it or fake it lip sync goes. It's where karaoke is. It's where
the virus gives you wine.
The mayoral election of Uranium Springs took place there, and I did not try to assassinate that mayor at any point, despite what you might hear from people who are lying.
I mean,
who is the mayor of Uranium Springs?
My dear friend Milos, a mad scientist and leader of the Wasteland Science Center.
I mean, Milos has tried to kill you multiple times.
Oh,
yeah, you can probably get Milos on here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That would be pretty cool.
I can certainly ask him if you'd like. He also lives in San Diego. And if he has time, I'm sure he'd be interested in,
We should do a stream where it's every single mayor all together.
We certainly can.
Fun fact about Reverend Lawless, lore-wise, as it is rumored, if you die in lore, Reverend Lawless actually can revive you. He has a shot that can be given to revive the dead. He's the only really known lore figure that can do that. So if you're near death, you can make your way to Reverend Lawless. So I've heard.
Leader of the Church of Fuel.
Yep. So, Aaliyah, I mean, Team damn it.
You made it.
We're literally not even on question 4.
Yeah.
And you're already breaking the rules.
Doxed. Tell us a little about all the tribes you belong to, because you guys all know by now, by every single story we've told, Team Rocket is a huge volunteer, the quartermaster, etc. But you belong to a lot of tribes. You belong to a lot of sub-communities, I would say. Performance.
Polytribal.
Yeah, you're polytribal.
Well, even sadly, we'll get to that in a second. So my first tribe that I joined was, of course, the one ran by Missmayor, which is the Death Caps.
That's me.
I joined that tribe my second year after meeting you guys at Winter Games, where
that's right.
I was given a shot of last breath and then came back not too long after and did another shot and still was on my feet standing. So I'm one of the few people to survive death twice and keep on kicking.
Is that the Everclear-based shot?
Yes. I have never heard of this.
And absinthe, yes.
Yes, it's the one that Hotshot had and then was debilitated.
Oh, I feel like I need to take Rad from the Rust Bunnies and make him drink this. Yeah.
So I am a member of the Death Caps. I also earned my keep and was able to stay in the Death Caps by fighting with Cub in Thunderdome. I put up my sacred spore, my shroom, as a bet because both me and Cub at that point had each one round in Thunderdome against each other. And this was round number 3 to see who would keep standing and who would be the champion. And Cub did beat me, though I've heard multiple times that I was the true winner. So
I feel like you
I did
are.
lose that. But then I took on the other death cap to have survived 2 shots of last breath and to also keep standing Xeno, and I beat Xeno in Thunderdome, which was why I was able to remain a death cap.
You've had a lot of rivalries in Thunderdome, even thinking back to shoe-based ones.
Yes. Sadly, my funny enough, Team Rocket does have a true arch nemesis in Wasteland, and that is Beef of Bikini Atoll.
Oh,
Mainly because
that's my son.
I know,
Aw.
and he's the worst.
I mean,
Well,
let me know.
like
I
mother,
can ground him for you.
like
Ground
mother,
me
like
enough,
son.
and
Yes.
I named him after me.
So outside of Wasteland, I do work at a Vans store. I'm part of the management team of our local store, and Beef one day decided to send me a Snapchat of a Converse store, and I said, "Oh no, oh no!"
Disgusting.
And ever since
I'm
then,
so
the
proud.
rivalry has been slowly building. We actually could not have that Thunderdome match because I almost lost my eye and was deemed not medically cleared to fight in Thunderdome. So,
Yeah, we had an optometrist in our tribe, luckily.
yes.
Is this when you first started wearing an eye patch, which then became part of your secondary character?
Yes, and that also segues back into the fact I do have my secondary character of Wasteland, which is Splash, who was a member of the Disciple of the D's. Splash is still around, but that tribe has dissolved, and that tribe is no longer there. So
Unfortunately.
the members, I know, all the members are still there. We are just no longer a tribe. So that was one of the other groups that I am a part of, and I still love them to death, and that's why Splash did not go away as the tribe went away. I also am one of the nuclear bombshells, specifically the SoCal chapter, but just in general, I am a nuclear bombshell. And oh man, I do a lot of stuff. I'm like, what else am I a part of?
I announced you at Tribes Moot, and I felt like I wasn't giving you enough credit when I was saying everything that you did. And I was going over it in my head, and I was asking everybody, I'm like, okay, am I forgetting anything? Am I forgetting anything? Someone give me more information.
I'm also
you
a
can't
fit it
child
all
of the
in.
Red Right Hand. That is a group I just joined as
Boo.
well. No, we are good. We are good murder cultists. We do our best.
I do love a good cult.
That is
Yeah.
true. Now,
And a
Also,
good
you can murder
right
them
hand.
with finger guns, and it's great.
now
Yeah.
is Team Rocket
Know that.
is Team
Oh, yeah.
Rocket a cultist, or is Splash?
Splash is in fact the cultist.
Good question.
Team Rocket.
That makes so
Team
much
Rocket
sense.
is no cultist.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, no, I am a liar. Team Rocket is a cultist. The Team Rocket is a cult of Mayhem member. So,
Oh, yes.
if we ever see
yeah, I
Missy
mean-
Mayhem around, we do provide her with the warmth that she so humbly gave us one day with
Who
hugs.
is not a member of the Cult of Mayhem?
I know, and
because
if they're
that-
not, that's just it's not okay.
They're
all need
not
to be
living. Yeah.
I didn't even remember becoming a part of that cult, but apparently I did.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a hard night for me.
I also
That was the night I spilled all
yeah.
the pickles everywhere.
Oh, that's
Oh.
a party foul at
You see,
Wasteland. You don't spill
they're
the
groaning
pickles.
because they're sad. I'm groaning because pickles are gross.
Oh,
What?
your
No, they're
face.
not.
Your face is gross.
Pickles are the worst.
how are
They're
you
not-
even a Wastelander, bro?
Pickles are not content to be bad on their own. They have to ruin everything they touch by soaking it with pickle juice. If there's a pickle on a burger, you throw that burger out because it's soaked.
He also doesn't like coffee. Yeah.
Correct.
I'm like, what else?
Oh.
Yeah, coffee, pickles, communist.
I don't need coffee.
nice
I just
thing.
generate
What an
all my own
American.
energy.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? What else do I do?
Wait, so
Oh,
we did-
I'm still like I do. Oh well, God, I do everything. I also am not a part of the cult of Cat Meat, but I am joining them for many of the photo shoots that Grotch does now run for the Cat's Paw magazines that you can find hidden around Wasteland.
Very cool.
You were
I also
in
joined
issue
that.
2, I believe.
I was issue 2 and 3, if I remember correctly. I was in 2. The photo that I'm actually using as my avatar tonight, that was taken by Ray Vera and is featured in one of those magazines.
Excellent.
He is such an amazing photographer. Yes. The Flasher, Earth Flasher, is, I have given him a Wasteland name. And I call him the flasher. And my favorite part is a lot of people take it the wrong way. And I'm like, you guys, he takes photos. There's a flash.
It's a
camera.
pun. How delightful.
But people get really confused and uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely not clarifying this.
If there's one thing the interpreter loves, it's a good pun.
Even bad
Yes.
puns.
I
don't
still remember
discriminate.
at War Games when your entire part of your talent portion was doing nothing but dad jokes.
Oh, yes.
Oh god, that
They
was
were fantastic. They're like, what's your talent? I'm like, I don't have anything.
You need
I'm
to
going to
keep
just
that
tell
as a
dad
trend.
jokes.
You know, Team Rocket, you said that you earned like your spot in the Death Caps with stuff at Wasteland, but I have to tell one story
All
that
right.
made me know for sure that you were going to stick around because I was absolutely shocked. So
Okay.
after the first time we met, which we met at the Winter Games, and I remember it was sometime after that, I invited you along with a couple other people to go hike to this place in Pasadena called the Devil's Head Dam.
Cool.
And I thought for sure that she was going to say no. I'm like, she doesn't know me that well. This is a really weird request. Like, meet me in the middle of the night to go hike to this dam in like a trail that's kind of not even like marked off. Like, this is sketchy. I thought for sure she was going to say no, but I wanted to be friends. So I put the offer out there. So we arrived in Pasadena in the dead of night, and I was like, oh, she actually showed up. Like, I thought that she was like, A, way too cool to hang out with me, and B, the situation seemed super sketch. So we started hiking out there. It was cold. It was us. It was a couple of us, and I guess a big element in the story is our buddy Blue, who's extremely neurotic and also a Wastelander. We started hiking to this Devil's Head Dam. It got its name because it's looks like the devil's head carved into rock. We ended up roaming around there at night, and the rich people of Pasadena took notice of us, thought we looked super sketchy, and apparently called the police.
I was fun. Wait,
not
we gotta
wrong.
include the part of this story really quick. I was in a costume. I was wearing my Borderlands Psycho Bandit gear for some odd reason.
Because like you do.
And
Why
now
did you do that?
Because
I
it's
don't
cool.
know. I don't know. But yeah, and we got the police called on us while I looked like that.
And then we got lost in the dark. We roamed around. We figured out that we went the wrong direction, and then we look up in the sky and we see a police helicopter shining
your
its
way
red
back
light on
home.
us. We panicked, and apparently Aaliyah and I both have hood instincts because we both tried to hide. Which is
Get
a
her.
really bad thing. Which is a really bad thing to do because they could totally see us. They had that
Okay.
red scanner. So we started heading back, running through the brush.
Just
I
looking
briefly
even more
thought-
suspicious.
Yeah, I briefly thought that Team Rocket died because we got to the dam portion of it, and the helicopter cleared off, but it was getting close. It was like sweeping right by. I understand. And then we made it to the dam. We're like, oh man, the coast is clear. We're safe. And we're standing on this giant cement dam, and Team Rocket's like, wow, this is really cool. Walks up to the edge and falls. Like, and disappears. So I like panicked. I was like, oh my God.
I'm supportive.
And then
I
look
killed
over
my
the
new
side.
friend.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And I look over the side, and she landed on like a cement ledge. Do you remember that? Like,
do.
it was only like 3 feet down.
Did you
Got
fall or
so
did
lucky.
you jump?
No, she fell.
I fell. Knowing me, I fell.
Like, was this the call to the void? Like, did you jump?
It was cartoonish because she was like, wow, this is cool. Ah! And just like fell.
Gosh.
So then after she climbed back up, we're like, well, we're safe. We could walk leisurely back to the car. The helicopter comes back even closer, shining its spotlights on us. Our friend Blue panics, and she like exclaimed out loud, like, I can't handle this, and just starts running towards the car.
She also had to pee. So she was also
I think she was
having to
frightened.
pee and running in a panic.
So Team Rocket in the full psycho gear runs after her. And then when we get to the end of the trail, there's a cop car who is now seeing in the headlights a woman running, being apparently chased by someone dressed like Team Rocket was. I was like, I came over the hill. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Like, we're going to get killed right now. And he just let us pass. It was the weirdest thing. Like, he didn't even say anything to us.
Yeah.
I think he saw the terrified look in Blue's eyes. saw that it was predominantly girls there and was just like, oh, whatever, and left.
He's just like,
He left.
I don't really need this today.
He left. I remember we were walking back.
So funny.
I was trying to console Blue because I remember there was like a frog on the side. I'm like, look, Blue, a frog. And she's like, I don't care. She was all mad.
Now, would that have
And then
normally worked?
I think so. Then we all ate a Jack in the Box, and I thought for sure, I'm like, Team Rocket's never gonna hang out with us again after this. Like,
She's like, we're best friends. We're getting matching bracelets.
Yeah, I have to know like what was going through your head at that moment. Like, why did you still stay friends with me, let alone join my tribe?
I thoroughly love getting into crazy adventures with people, and that by far was one of the best ones so far. I also thought maybe you thought I would have been a weirdo or like a desperate person at that point, because I was like, I drove 2 hours to come down here to hang out with you because I don't have people where I live.
Aww.
So I thought it was going to be one of those like, oh, she's absolutely insane. She drove 2 hours to be down here with us.
I'm so thankful that you did. That was an insane night. I feel like that cemented everything.
So much of that story from both of your sides is like pure and innocent and like so freaking nice.
It's very wholesome, but that's
Yeah.
also
You
Ms.
really
and Team
bond
Rocket are
from
both
someone when
very
you're-
wholesome.
Yeah. But I'm like, oh,
You-
like all of this.
You really
oh.
bond with someone when you're both like running from a police helicopter, terrified at night. Oh, I forgot
was
about the
like-
best part of that story. Oh my gosh, we almost found the Devil's Head Dam because Team Rocket was leading the way, and I was like, I think that's the trail. So she starts walking down the trail alone, instantly turns back, it's like, no, hobo camp, we gotta go.
Yeah,
And then
I
we-
will always be the first person to put myself in danger's way because if I die, I die. But and there was this tiny trail, and I was like, I'm small, I'll start going through here first. So I was leading the path, and everyone was kind of behind me. And I walked in, and I look around, and my eyes adjust, and that's when, exactly like I said, I was like, oh, we're in someone's house right now. And I was just like, nope. And I just started backing. I was like, everyone needs to leave. Get out.
And I we were sitting at the Jack in the Box, and you were just like having a crisis, and you're like, there was a bird cage, but no bird. That's the part you thought was weird. Like, that was the weirdest part.
It was. Why would you have a cage and no bird? What is it for? What are you caging at that point?
Do you know
Their
how many Wasteland camps have bird cages and no birds? Come on.
Your
Yeah, and all of them
emotions.
need some birds.
Okay, so
Yeah, I was like, I have a story about Team Rocket from Wasteland 18. When your parents came out,
Yeah.
oh yes.
and they were very worried about your mental state because they kept following you around. And then they're like, oh, that's not our daughter.
So I apparently have a doppelganger at Wasteland. Unlike Adam, who has the doppelganger, I have a doppelganger who was running around Wasteland City, but naked.
I remember that.
She was on the D's dancing, I believe. I believe she was on
Yeah,
the top of the pole. Yeah.
Yep. Even my own other D's tribe mates thought that was me up there. I had multiple people the next morning come up to me and ask me if I was okay that morning because I seemed so fresh and they were convinced I was gonna have some sort of hangover, and I was like, I didn't even drink last night, and they're like, oh, honey, you were drunk, you were naked, and I was like, nope.
Was
I?
Apparently my parents were following around some poor naked chick while she was on her scooter.
Oh no.
Because they thought it was me. And that's finally when my dad leaned over to my mom and goes, honey, that's not Team Rocket. She doesn't know how to ride a bike like that. And
I love that that's what
She's
saved
all
them.
terrified. Like, why is this couple following me?
yep.
Yeah.
No, it's like,
So yeah,
nope, Team Rocket, too
as
awesome for that.
as a burlesque dancer, I will still get very naked at Wasteland. Even last Wasteland, I was wandering around one of the nights after being blessed by the cult of the Red Right Hand, completely covered head to toe in blood, but I still was not naked.
And that was before you had officially joined the bombshells, I
Yes,
believe,
yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Because I remember Winter Games 2019.
They
that
recruited
was
you
your
based on that.
Winter Games 2019. That was your first performance, wasn't it?
My no, my first performance was at Wasteland 2018 because I did
Oh, okay.
I did a number to the song "Dirty" by Christina Aguilera, where I finally proved the best way to get more dirt for your outfit is to literally just cover your head to toe in mud, just everything, just more
you
dirt.
pulled
Everything.
a Zephyr.
Classic Zephyr.
Yeah, I did. Uncle Zephyr. I was
Did you ask
inspired
him
by
for tips beforehand? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
He actually offered some of the best clay to rub on myself, but I still don't.
Is he your uncle also? Because he's definitely drunkle.
Oh, he's
Yes,
definitely
he is
drunkle. He's my
Aw.
brother.
Zephyr is amazing, but he is not my actual uncle.
No, yes. He's drunkle for part of the Interpreter's extended family.
Yeah, he's my brother.
Aw, everybody loves
Aw.
Zephyr.
Everybody does love Zephyr.
Yes. Also, another thing about Team Rocket, I remember. I think it was back in. I met you at a build day, but
Yes.
you had talked. I wasn't able to make it, but you used to run activities before the swimsuit contest. I believe
Yes,
you had a.
That's right.
Yes, I
At
have a
the
cap.
D's.
Yes, I have a cap from it. But I never was able to make it, and I have never been able to ask you about it. So what all was that?
So, I had kind of always wanted to do a bit more at the D's besides the swimsuit competition and just like the go-go platforms at night. And I was like, we need to do more stuff during the day. So I'd kind of approached the tribe and I was just like, hey, let's just have those fun party games that you play at like family picnics and just make them wastelandy and just get a little dumb with them. So I ran.
Okay,
Splash's,
I've never been squirted with water at a family function. It's a
you
lot
haven't-
cooler than that.
We
So
can
I
make this
ran
happen.
Splash's Liquid Chaos was what it was called.
Yeah.
And I found like I said, the party games that you play where it involves water, like having a tray of water and then spinning around and having to go dump it on someone's head. Or my favorite one was you had to take these sponges that were full of water and then run over to your teammate and basically they would put the sponge on their butt and then the other teammate would like squeeze around their butt and the suggestive, like they were humping butts.
That was my favorite.
Bring
So
the sponge out and the just fun things like that are what I did because also it being sometimes during the day at Wasteland, it gets so hot that having that time to go get a little bit wet was very welcoming.
Yes, Pig, that is Team Rocket, by the way, who's speaking right now about what was it? Liquid Chaos? Splash's Liquid Chaos.
Yes, Liquid Chaos.
I'm gonna miss it. That was fun.
I'm very sad that I missed it.
It was the best during the super hot days. Oh my gosh. I don't know how anyone's gonna fill that void.
Who else will get them wet?
Splash will find a way to still get people wet. Trust me. I'll make everyone wet.
Boofer.
So this has probably already been answered, but how much would you say does Wasteland affect your day-to-day life? And did you ever expect it to be this big of a part of your life?
Surprisingly, no. I didn't expect it to be that big in my life. I thought, okay, maybe I'll go to a build day every now and then, especially because
sorry.
The area for the build days is about an hour from where I live. And I was like, that's still a bit of a drive then for me. But now I feel like I almost do something Wasteland related multiple times a week. It's not every day a week, surprisingly, but there's still something I do for Wasteland or some Wasteland event I want to go to that is always happening. And now most of that is, like I said, it's about 2 hours away. But I never expected to be that big. And I just, like I said earlier on, I became literally almost like obsessed with it. And Wasteland needs some kind of help group maybe for us.
Wasteland is, in fact, definitely a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the community definitely. It has a weird way of kind of sucking you in fully that you don't really expect. I think it's one of those things that you either end up going all in or it's just not your thing. I don't know a whole lot of people that are like casually into Wasteland.
I know a few people who are casually into it, and I'm always like, how do you do this? Like explain this. Yeah, explain this to me. Okay, this is your vacation that you literally, you don't do, like, you only do this for this week. One of the people that I actually camp with, the Plague, this is his vacation, and he literally goes to Wasteland for the week and then goes back and he flies back home, and he has 3 kids and a wife and is like a normal person. But when he's at Wasteland, I'm like, oh, this is very, like, okay.
It's a good break from reality, I think. I
Yeah.
think that's like the major appeal of it that people don't expect and what separates it from other festivals and stuff. That being said, question for Team Rocket and for all of you, really, because we've all been attending this event for quite a long time. I started in 2013. I don't know when you guys started. I think you started before me. How do
Not
you guys
accurate.
We are all 20. I was supposed to go in
Yeah.
2011 with the casino, their first year, but a lot of life happened. I won't get into that. But my first year was actually 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All
Fahrenheit?
2015ers.
Yes,
Yeah.
my first year was 2015. It just
No
doesn't
way.
seem it just doesn't seem like it because it appears that I wandered out of the dust one day fully formed.
Yeah, I met 3 people my first year.
Accurate. Yeah, how do you guys think the event has changed since you got started? We'll start with you,
Oh, I
Team
totally-
Rocket.
As part of the build crew, one of my favorite things is just seeing the event kind of get bigger and better with the stuff we're able to build. I remember our old Wasteland gates, and then I remember seeing them for the first time set up in Adam's backyard, and almost, well, no, I won't lie, I didn't almost cry, I cried. There's things like that. Just seeing every year the different kind of layout to the city or what new things tribes bring. Mushroom Cloud Lounge.
Yes.
I love the fact they have the prop from the beginning of one of the Fallout games as now as the thing that sits over their gates.
Yes.
Everything that Kane's Machina has brought and now has the full red rocket setup. Gorgeous,
Mhm.
beautiful. That's amazing. Everything that the den does or has even come to be, like, it's like everything just keeps getting better, and that's what I love about Wasteland is there's no end to what can possibly happen.
Yeah, beautifully said. Interpreter, how do you feel?
I kind of just got on a rant with somebody about this not too long ago. And by not too long ago, I mean yesterday.
Perfect.
They were talking about how Wasteland has changed, and it's supposed to be Mad Max, and it's supposed to be this Mad Max themed weekend, and everybody's a sellout, and blah 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 blah. And women are half naked, and my comeback to them was, you are half naked at this event. I do not care if you're a screen accurate, sir. You are half naked. Do not shame me for what I want to wear, what I don't want to wear.
Agreed.
One thing that I love about the event and that I have seen it grow is it has its faults. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is 100% a safe space. But people try really hard to make Wasteland as safe as possible. And my first Wasteland I only met 3 people. I was super shy, very timid.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know. I felt super out of my comfort zone, and I didn't know what to do. And so I just hid at the casino and served drinks. But something that I have seen, and I have seen a lot of Wastelanders from the beginning, and then like I see them every year, and I'm like, oh, you're coming out of your comfort zone. You are growing. You are developing. You are doing these things, and that's something that I love about the event is that it's a super safe space, and even when it's not safe, people are working really hard to make it a safe space, and
as safe as I think it can be for one that size, and it can always improve, but it's pretty good considering.
and the whole everybody in the community, and there's the good neighbor that is doing their own thing, and the communication. That's something that I love about the event, and it's how I see it growing is everybody is, or not everybody, but most people are trying to learn pronouns, and okay, cool. Let me use the correct pronoun for you. I don't know what this is, but teach me. Let me know how to do this thing. Okay, cool. There's a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that go to Wasteland and they are able to be their true self at Wasteland. Outside of Wasteland, they have to be somebody else and play that role. But when they're there, they're able to be whatever they want to be and do whatever they want to do. And I've seen a lot of Wastelanders over the years just embrace their inner voice and find their confidence and be who they want to be. And I will put myself in that category with being with the casino when I no longer with them, but when I was with them, Disco and Boss Cap and Amazon and Trail Boss and all of them are like, no, be yourself, do it. Be sarcastic, be loud, own it. It's fine. Like, if you cross the line, we'll talk about it, but I don't think you will. And I'm like, okay. And so, yeah, it's like that is where I got the strength and the support to be this sarcastic person now.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
What about you, Fahrenheit?
I think one of the things that I've seen, I mean, because obviously you have what Team Rocket and the Interpreter already got into, things always getting bigger and better. The event sort of fine-tuning itself and really growing to, work and accommodate a lot of people. But one thing that I've really noticed, and it's something that, I've worked on personally, and I know is one of the big tenets of your mayorship, is the accessibility and growth of lore in the community. In 2015, when I was starting, there was still that, you had the Skullduggers and you had the Dukes of the Nuke. But a lot of the
WCC.
And a lot of the events that sort of went on were smaller. They were less connected. They were more just tribal based. Whereas over the years, it seems like, whether you're looking at the Facebook groups with the official LARP and lore community, there's been a lot more interconnectivity and growth of that sort of Wasteland persona and that in fiction community, and tribes coming together and working together and collaborating to do new projects. You have the Temple of the Waste. You have these large scale lore items with the Cult of the Red Right Hand and the Seekers of Vault 77, and all these different tribes coming together and building a collaborative story. You have a lot more people writing lore and building out the lore of their characters and connecting it to other people, and not just, this is the 4-page backstory of my character, but this is how it connects to my tribe and how my tribe connects to other tribes. And that's something that I've seen really grow a lot and that I think is very cool in the community as the years have gone by.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's something unique to the event itself. Go ahead, Interpreter.
Sorry, to jump on what Fahrenheit said. Also, shout out to the Rust Devils for doing their bounty hunting game for, I don't even know, 2013, I think, 14 when they started going, and modifying it so that it can keep going even though they've had some of their members drop off and live their own lives and do these things. Like, that right there, shout out to them. Congratulations. If you need help, like, moving this forward, please let me know. I was like, I would love to help making this be a thing, but yeah, it's like,
I agree.
And being a part of the most wanted bounties at Wasteland is one of my favorite things to get set up during the year. For both Team Rocket and Splash, I have not the most difficult bounty, but I try to make it really interactive and fun, and just having to go to different parts of Wasteland or do things for people. I love setting up bounties, and Calamity is one of my great friends, one of my best friends, my buddy cop. And we get into some shenanigans, especially with all that.
Calamity's quite a scamp. I'm quite fond of them as well. About the bounty hunting thing, I think it's interesting on the topic of bounty hunting, and sort of segues into the next thing. But I actually met Cub because of the bounty hunting game. He wasn't my bounty. He was actually a friend of mine's bounty, and we met through that. And that's one of the things I think is really interesting about Wasteland is you meet people that you probably wouldn't have ordinarily met. a majority of my very close friend group are all people that I met at Wasteland, and particularly friends I met actually in 2013. Um, I have all these people in my lives now, and I'm sure you guys can relate, that I would have never met if not for this event. And as a very introverted, shy person, that's something that I think is extremely rare and very cool. And I think that if you are thinking of attending this event and you're extremely shy, you're extremely introverted, I think you should definitely take the plunge. And if you're worried about meeting people, there are those missions that will help guide the way and help introduce you to people. Stuff like the bounty hunting, and even stuff like one of my favorite missions, the vault mission, the 77. That'll take you everywhere. So definitely, I would say if you're looking to meet people, maybe you're not so great at introducing yourself, doing missions and stuff will give you a good excuse to speak to other people.
And as a quick,
Delivering mail. Yeah.
as a quick group self plug, if you're interested in getting involved in lore, feel free to reach out to the Mayoral department. It's literally our job.
Yeah, definitely.
This is true.
One of the things too, I want to say real quick before we move on, and I only have a few other questions left because I don't want to keep us, because I know we all have to work in the morning.
I opened my second White Claw, so we're good.
I was going to
I
say,
don't-
did we want to also open it to anyone who is listening in, if they want to ask any questions to any of us too, after
don't
you finish your questions?
I don't sleep. I could do this all night.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll bring
am the
people up on the
nightmare.
screen. People like Bushnack up on the screen says, "I love Cub." Yes, everybody loves Cub.
Cub's a
Everybody
delight.
loves Cub.
He's the Boy Scout
Yeah.
of the Wastes and part of Wasteland's favorite frat.
That's right,
Yeah.
Ward 19. Hey,
Ward
Gemini's
12
here.
pack, 12 pack, -5.
One of the things I just wanted to say too, while we're talking about Wasteland's growth and all the stuff that all these tribes bring to, I think it's important to showcase and always bring up that these tribes have gotten very large. There's a lot of tribes that bring a crazy amount of effort and artistry and hard work into what they bring to Wasteland. And always keep in mind that they are doing this completely on their own dime, on their own
Yes.
time, of their own efforts. And I think it's important to treat them with appreciation. There's been a lot of people who seem to think that within the community, tribes are a part of some kind of entertainment. They are, but they are not compensated monetarily. They're not even really given free tickets. They're attendees just like you. There's really nothing separating you from them. So always keep that in mind, that if they are capable of doing these things, you are capable of doing these things. And just be appreciative of the things they bring, because they contribute, I would say, they contribute a lot to the community, a lot to the event, and they are the lifeblood of the event. So whenever you marvel at those things, just know these are regular people that are doing this out of passion, and there's nothing stopping you from bringing an amazing tribe or helping any of them bring some of this stuff
Or
on
joining
board.
one of the tribes. I know a lot of tribes within the city and the
Yes.
theme zone that are always looking for new members to bring new energy and new blood. And yeah, like if you want to join a tribe, go ahead, talk to them, do that stuff. But just so you know, it's a big obligation.
It is a big
And-
obligation, and you
and
don't
for
get a lot
anyone-
from it really, other than just the satisfaction of doing it.
That's true.
Bragging
And for
rights.
anyone who's not necessarily in a tribe and is newer and isn't sure whether or not they do need to join one, you do not. You can, in fact, go and help out tribes and interact with tribes and not actually be in a tribe, but still be connected. Currently, your nightmare is not actually in a designated tribe, but that doesn't mean you can't do things and help people out and have a lot of fun with people in them.
Volunteering is also always a viable option to meet a ton of people.
That's actually where I completely started, truly getting to know people. I volunteered at the San Diego pub crawl that always happens during Comic-Con. And
oh my gosh.
and I was handing out flyers. Technically, that's where I met my quote-unquote wasteland dad, who ran over, picked me up, and was just like, "Ooh, I love you," and was just completely just so
Who
nice.
is your
and-
dad?
Who is your daddy?
if
What does
anyone
he
knows-
do?
I don't actually, funny enough, I don't remember his wasteland name off the top of my head, but if anyone knows
Gasp!
Chandler,
Oh,
I know,
Who?
right? My dad,
Jax.
Chris Chandler
Oh, Jax.
of Road Rash.
Oh,
Jax,
Yeah, with
yes.
Road Rash.
Yes.
Yes.
He's
he
wonderful.
is my dad. I was dressed as Immortan Joe at Comic-Con, and he
Rad.
ran over and picked me up, and yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that costume. You have to send me
Yeah,
pictures of that.
I'm sure I have never seen you as Morton Joe.
I will also say that
I only
meetup
did the
happens
costume
every
once, yeah.
year. Yeah. The
Oh,
meetup
I
happens
love that
every
meetup.
Saturday. Yeah, every Saturday or the Saturday of Comic-Con. That always happens. I'm not sure if it's going to
so
become
much
an
fun, you
official
guys.
meetup or not. Yeah, it's like I'm one of the co-hosts of that. It's fantastic. We meet at the sign. I can't remember. Second White Claw. At noon.
We meet at the gas lamp sign.
Yeah,
Thank
I
right
am, in
under
fact,
gas
one
lamp
of
sign.
I am one of the follow the leader people, since I
Yes.
live in the area and can pick out bars.
Yes, super fun. There's usually splits off into two groups. One group that wants to go and have photos taken in front of the convention. Other people that want to go and bar hop, whichever one you want to do. That's totally fine.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a fantastic meetup. I highly recommend it. And if you're just trying to go and meet Wastelanders on a smaller scale, I recommend doing that.
I had the
Yeah,
time of my life last time. I will definitely be there, even though I'm not attending the convention this time around.
Excellent.
Yes, but then even just volunteering for Wasteland, that was the first I actually did. I volunteered for the load up day to pack Wasteland up to get ready to ship out to Wasteland, and that was my first time really interacting with Wastelanders in more of that setting. And I just saw Bushnack's comment, and I was like, "Oh, not wrong."
It's so true. I know.
And they are not hesitant to let you see.
That is true.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you, Road Rash.
Fuck you, Road Rash.
Sorry to interrupt.
But no, that was fine.
I'm
because
not.
Ain't no
but yes,
laws.
volunteer for Wasteland if you want to get to know people a little bit more on one-on-one. If you don't even necessarily have skills, I literally went to that load up day and all I knew how to do was pick up heavy stuff. That was all I'm capable of. And ever since
that's
then,
valid.
I've now learned to weld because of Wasteland. I've learned to use multiple tools because of Wasteland. And now, like I said earlier, I am the quartermaster of Wasteland, which is literally a skill I learned from being there at those volunteer days.
Team Rocket is in fact deputy.
Oh yes, I am a deputy of the build days. If the production manager is not there, then me and my co-deputy Monty, we are somehow now in charge. Which I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah,
disaster. That's it. Wasteland disaster. Chaos.
Monty is kind of the brains. I am more the voice in that sense of he doesn't like wrangling cats, and I can wrangle cats pretty well.
I'm trying to remember his Wasteland name though. I think it's disaster or it's chaos.
So by your powers combined, you are one false prophet.
Yes, we are one full false prophet with the two of us.
I mean,
so
valid.
was there a particular moment at the event where you knew that this was for you?
In a weird
when
sense,
Chris
it
Chandler
was that
picked you up and said you're his daughter.
Right. Yes. Oh yeah. You're mine now. Come with. At the actual event, I think it had to have been. It was 2015 again. It was the hottest year. I had been dying almost all day. Even me being from the high desert, I was still like, I don't even want to get out of this shade because I will melt. And I had been sitting there suffering, and it had been a hard time trying to even figure out how to do camping because I hadn't gone camping in forever, and I basically wasn't really eating. And the tribe next to where I was camped at came on over, and they were like, hey, we made way too much food. Do you guys want some of this extra food? And it was like a whole turkey they had smoked. And that moment, like, it was just like, I'm basically gonna, this is it, because this is how it should be. Like, I was still really nervous to talk to people, because I weirdly am not super introverted, but sometimes I do get that way. But at that moment, it was like, these people all just want to take care of each other and all have a good time. And I was like, I'm in.
Aw.
Yeah.
Super valid.
What about you guys?
And then it turned out that guy who actually gave gave me the turkey was one of the super most wanted bounties. I went and I saw him at the bounty board, and I didn't sell him out because I was like, no, that guy
Aw.
deserves his right to not be found because he gave me turkey.
He bought you with turkey.
I mean, also, if you would have sold him out for a nice bribe and then told him, he probably would have appreciated that too.
Right.
That's true. Do you guys have any similar tales? When did you guys know this was for you?
Oh, goodness. You
Do you
first, Fahrenheit.
Okay, I was going to ask if you already had a moment or if you needed a minute to think about it.
I don't know if I have one.
Well, why don't you think, and I'll try to keep it brief.
It's a dangerous pastime.
Oh, yes, I know. I would probably say that it wasn't necessarily a moment so much as a string of moments. We already discussed how the bounty hunting game is a big part of the event, or a good way to meet people. In 2015, my first year, this was when they were still doing 4 different tiers to get basically increasing difficulty, and to get to the next tier, you had to pass the first one. So
I remember that.
So on the first couple of days, on the first day, I knocked out one of the casino members, actually, Toro, I believe, in an arm wrestling contest. I then picked up my second
casino
one.
member named Toro?
Yes.
That, I believe, Toro is actually a member of Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, so that's not a casino member. Sorry.
I don't know. He said he was part of the casino, so I don't know what to tell you.
And I adore him.
Skinny guy, mustache.
Oh, I don't
Fake
remember
news.
having a mustache.
But
But I can see it in my mind.
I then spent another day and a half tracking down Princess Sweetmeat, who I only found after wandering during the destructive heat of Saturday, only to finally find her at the Jugger match where I traded a Starburst. But for a victory, that was her challenge. If you have
single
candy,
Starburst?
yeah, if you have a piece of candy, you
What flavor?
win. It was orange, which I had gotten from trading a couple of bullet casings to one of the vendors in exchange for a vacuum tube for the WCC. The candy had been a bonus. But the most memorable parts that really stuck with me were the Tier 3 and Tier 4s. Tier 3 happened to be, because when I was first standing in line, the person who would explain the game to me turned out to have been Ranger, Sheriff of Wasteland City, though not at the time.
Yes.
So when I saw him, yes, I know, but it did lead to some fine Lord Marshal shenanigans, so we have to land on that one together.
Go on.
But
He was one of my first friends in 16, so he has a soft spot, but also Maverick. Love him.
But I saw his poster on the wall and thought to myself, I know where he is, but if he's with the Rust Devils, it might be pretty tough. And I'm like, wait, no. You're Mr. Fahrenheit. That's not what you're about. So I grabbed the poster, and since you can't actually, call somebody out within X feet of their camp, I had to think of a way to lure him away. So I found a few people who were watching or looking at it from afar and said, hey, do you want to help me with the bounty real quick? Because Ranger has a soft spot for people who are new to the bounty hunting game, and also is easily lured with lovely women. So
Solid.
I walk across the street, and then hey Ranger, I have somebody you should meet. They want to know about bounty hunting. And it's like, you brought me a first timer. I have, however, I also have your
Was
back.
I part of this?
You are not.
Smart.
Because it sounds very familiar.
You are not. I have not met that person since, but he was like, okay, no, it can't be how this go down. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to go back into camp, and let me ask you something. Can you like make a scene? And I'm like, I can make a scene. I know we don't know each other.
Star is born.
but I can make a scene. So we did a whole thing where I very loudly called him out in the middle of Main Street, where we then had a sword duel, which was a lot of fun. There are some good photos of that. But after the end of that, I did make it to my Tier 4 bounty, which involved annexing 2 tribes for Texas, which incidentally was our first foothold in Texas and would later prove to be the opposite side of my faction. Involved a hostage exchange and a little bit of gun running for the Dukes of the Nuke, who at that time at 10 o'clock on a Saturday did not believe it could be done, and yet I managed to. And these wild whirlwind adventures really spoke to the adventurous nature inside me. And I'm like, well, guess we're doing this.
So it was the lore stuff that hooked you.
Yes. Because I went and I watched Thunderdome, I saw the performances, and those were cool things. But the stuff that really stuck with me was, and if you ever talk to Adam or Axel, one of the coolest things is just, walking around and feeling like you're there. It was that sense of immersion and actually being in that world and interacting with those characters and being part of it that really spoke to me and really made me want to keep coming and be more involved. And that's sort of how I ended up where I am, because I became very involved in it because it was what really drew me to a lot of the event, and why we became involved in like a lot of things.
I like that. That's very sweet. Do you have a
Yeah,
story
like
interpreter?
valid.
No
So
pressure.
I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, my first year, 15, the super, super hot year. I just keep thinking, I made all of the, I was super excited to go. I was supposed to go in 2011, didn't work out. And I had been wanting to go. And then my friend Gay Stuff and I, we were like, okay, hey, we're going together. We're doing this thing. Let's do
Love
this.
gay stuff.
I love gay stuff.
Yeah, and so we held each other accountable, and it's like, hey, I already bought my ticket. Buy your ticket. Let's do this. So we went in 15. We showed up on Friday because we weren't sure how we were going to feel about it, and didn't know if we could fully commit to going the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so we showed up Friday early in the morning.
Isn't that funny to think about now?
Oh my gosh!
Right?
It makes me, the fact
Yep.
that I met 3 people because I was super scared and intimidated, like, blows my mind still. But it's a great story, and I'm like, hey, if you like, you can meet people. But yeah, so we got there on Friday. We were in themed, but our one of our friends brought our tent, and it was inside the gates, and so we were super nervous to like go inside the gates and all this other funny stuff. But so we get there in 15. We'd worked really hard on costumes, and it was too hot to wear them. And so,
I feel like that goes for everybody's first year.
Yeah, and so I, very super body conscious at the time, was like, I don't know what to do. And so I suffered through the first day, and I was like, I can't, or like the first daytime, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And so I spent the rest of the time in a bra, booty shorts, and fishnets, and I'm like, I don't care. I can't handle this. And so I just did that, and I felt so safe and welcome, and everybody's like, you look awesome, you look great, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, I'm trying. And they're like, hey, do you want some ideas on your costume? Like, and it wasn't like you need more dirt, it was like, hey, would you like some ideas? I'm like, yes, please, my first year, tell me, let me know. And people were very nice about it and gave me information, and I worked at the bar at the casino. And so doing that, you go to the bar, you get a beverage. If you want caps, you have to entertain the person. And so I was like, okay, cool. And so I just asked people the weirdest place. I asked for dad jokes, and then I started asking the weirdest place that they had sex. And oh yes, the
What was the best
vulnerability.
answer?
The best. I still remember. I still see this person, and I'm like, oh honey, I will never tell you that I remember you, but I remember you. Her and her boyfriend, she was working, and he went and visited her at her work, and he had broken his leg. And so he had a cast like all the way up his leg, and they wanted to have sex.
That really did it for her, huh?
Yeah. And so they wanted to have sex, but like they didn't really know where to go, and so they went into the alley of where behind her business, and there was like a dump, like the dumpster, but it was gated. It was like cement and then gated, and so they
Oh
had to
God.
climb. Yes, they had to climb the wall. And I'm like, but how do you do with this cast? And so she kind of recreated it a little bit, which was amazing. And so they get over the wall, and then there's like a dirty mattress. And I was
Oh
like, oh my
God.
gosh.
Ew.
Yeah, I told you this was a great story.
She's like,
Can't
oh,
just stand up. Can't just stand up and maneuver. Jeez.
no, there was a
that would-
mattress. It was destiny.
Duh. And so they totally like banged it out on the mattress. And she had to help him climb over and then had to help him climb back over. And I was like, how amazing was that experience? But that was fantastic to me. And like the stories
Gross.
that people were telling me, and yeah, like I went and I adventured, and I went to the WCC. I met the Swedes. I met the Dukes. I met the Joker, who I actually, funny story, have known my whole life, but didn't realize at the time. Yeah, it was all of those experiences, and I was like, okay, I want to do this again. I want to do this again. And then talking to Boss Cat, who was the leader of the casino at the time, I was like, hey, I have all these ideas. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to da 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 da. And he just looked at me and he's like, okay, cool. If you want it, do it. If you want to make an Instagram for the casino, make an Instagram for the casino. If you want to do this thing, do it. Like, I don't care. Just do it. I am not doing it for you. If you say you're going to do it, then do it. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. And I was like, okay, cool. And so having the freedom to be like, hey, I want to make this thing, and I'm gonna do all of the work, but I want to put your name attached to it. And he's like, okay, cool, that's fine. Like, and having all of the freedom and the support to do that, I thought that was great and fantastic. And just being a part of the casino it introduced me to a lot of people, or it opened the door for me to meet a lot of people. I didn't meet a lot of people until later, but yeah, I just fell in love, and being able to walk around in my booty shorts, fishnets, and my bra and feel safe and supportive, and all the people that were kind of naked that year because of how hot it was, and the body positivity and everything. That was something that was new for me that I hadn't experienced before. Yeah, I live downtown Huntington. I surrounded by rich white people. I don't know how I can live here, but I have my landlord's great. But yeah, like where I'm at and where that it was a new lifestyle, and it was completely different, and I was very excited and intrigued by it. And so that made me want to go back. And then going back in 2016, and I told myself that I had to meet 2 new people a day.
That's a really
That
good
was
policy.
that was my goal. I had to meet 2 new people a day, and Amazon, God bless her soul, just took me under her wing and was like, okay, we're going to do this. And we had early entry because we helped set up the casino, and I can't even tell you how many people I met the first night, but I remember meeting Arthur, or I can't, what's his Wasteland name? Arthur Robinson.
I don't know
the
their Wasteland name, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't remember his Wasteland name right now, but I love
Very
him, and he's
talented.
fantastic. Yes, and he is one of the first people that I met, and I love telling him that, and he gets super excited. But yeah, just going back in 2016 and making and meeting all these people, and people knowing who I was because of what I had been doing for the casino, and that acknowledgement and that recognition, and just feeling seen. That is what has brought me back.
That's wonderful. I think that the story about the body positivity and stuff will resonate with a lot of people. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't talk about. That is a very strange and wonderful aspect of the community itself.
And it doesn't matter what gender you are, or if you're in, but it doesn't matter if you own it and you rock it. Like, go for you. Like, good.
Yeah.
People will compliment you and congratulate you and encourage you.
Don't go there thinking you're going to be judged. I'll share my story real quick, but before that,
Yes.
I'm going to read some of the chat, and then we'll have one last question. So let's see what we have here. My mic keeps hitting my mic. Bush Snack says, honestly, getting out there and looking up at that starry sky on the first night is what sold the event for me back in 2013. Yeah.
Aww.
It's very beautiful out there. When you don't live when you don't live out in the middle of nowhere like that, if you've never seen the sky in an isolated place like that, it's a pretty magical feeling. Let's see. Maverick says, I like to wander. Walking around to see the sights and talking to people is nice.
Yep.
And
It is in fact why when I joined 20 Mule Team, I created my own position of an ambassador because then I could just wander and schmooze all day and have it be a job.
Wait, you do that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that you're more familiar with me just staying in my office 24/7, but there was
I just remember that, hey, I'm going to go eat ribs. Come with me.
Oh, yes, that a tribe soundbite. Well, I
Ribs
have
in
to
the desert?
I have to eat sometime. Oh, yeah.
Desert
Mr.
ribs?
Fahrenheit.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Fahrenheit eats very bougie.
Yes.
So Nicole says, I ended up quitting my job to go. Wow. I tried for 5 years and they refused to give me the time off that time of year. One of the best things I ever did for myself because I truly found myself and found my people. Aw. I never knew that.
Also, Gemini, I am scared of snakes too.
And Bushneck says, Wasteland is a great place to express yourself. Yes, it is. It brings up the creativity in people. I remember the exact moment I knew that the event was for me. I believe it was 2013. It was my first year. I was super nervous about going. I almost didn't go. Like the night before, I had like a panic attack. I had like a lot of social anxiety. I was just like really deeply afraid of rejection and stuff, and I could not handle it. I almost didn't go. And I was a part of the Wasteland forum, which that was when they had a forum on the Wasteland site. And I don't even know if my username was Miss. I think I put it on there, but I wasn't super sold on the Wasteland name Miss. It's just all my life people have called me Miss in one way or another, so I just kind of used it as a username. So I wasn't like sold on it. I thought I was going to like earn a Wasteland name, the whole thing. So then in 2013 we went. I was super nervous. It was really hot. Back then I wore like a full face mask. And
I remember that mask.
I was at our small, kind of shitty camp. And while I was there, this woman approached camp, I think on the second day. Like I'd done like a little bit of exploring. I was pretty nervous. The second day, I hope I'm not mixing this up with my second year, but this woman showed up. Very statuesque, deep, dark set eyes. And she shows up at camp. And in an accent that I later found out was fake, she says, like, oi, you, miss. And I was like, oh. And she's like, come with me. We're going to go on a walkabout. And I was like, okay. She later introduced herself as Kundalini. Shout out to Kundalini. I know you don't really do social media. You're kind of a traveler. But she's like, we're going to go on a walkabout. Come on. So I start walking with her. I never met her before. So I'm walking with her shyly with my shitty mask on, my shoes that are falling apart. And we start walking towards this gigantic hill. And it's hot. And I'm out of shape. I'm just like a chubby comic book artist. I'm like, I'm going to die going up this hill with this stranger. So we're walking. She's not saying anything the whole time. And I'm like, this is kind of awkward and weird. So then we get like halfway up the hill and I stop and I'm like, hey, I got to stop. And she's like, no, come on. And I was like, no, I got to stop. And she starts screaming at me like, get up this hill. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I'm like, okay,
this is the hill I die on.
So I'm like, okay, like, geez. And she's like, get up now. And I'm like, okay. So I start walking up the hill and then we get to the top finally and sit down. And then we're just like sitting there and she introduces herself and like the sun was starting to go down. It was really beautiful. And then like, we're sitting there and she's like, give me your hand. And I'm like, what? And like, this is at a time where like, I didn't even really hug people. I was really weird about like physical contact and stuff. So I was really hesitant. So I kind of put up my hand. She like grabs my hand and grabs my wrist. And then like, she's looking at me and she just goes, I like you. I feel your spirit. And I was sitting there with her. And then I was like, oh. And like, I took off my mask because I was hot. And she's like, look at you. And she like slapped my face like lightly on my cheek. She's like, look at you. You got a kind face. You got a kind, mischievous face.
I mean, she's not wrong.
That is true.
Yeah.
And she's like,
so you felt seen.
she's like, you shouldn't wear that thing. And I was like, why does it look stupid? And she's like, no, you're all sweaty. And I was like, And I was like, oh, well, thanks. And then like for the next couple of years, like I would see her there, and she's like an immensely tall person, so she's really hard to miss. So she kind of inadvertently named me. And I remember we like walked down the hill after that and kind of went our separate ways. And I was like, that was really weird. And I just let like a stranger like grab me and like touch my face and stuff. Like I didn't even let like people close to me do stuff like that. And I was like, I wonder why I let her do that. And I didn't feel bad about it. And after that, like I went back and I felt like, it sounds really stupid, but I felt like a changed person. Like I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, I was like, you know what? Like, it's okay. And I knew after that.
You stepped out of your comfort. Yeah, you stepped out of your comfort zone a lot with her.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, I was like, you know, I didn't think I could make it up that hill, and I did. I didn't think I'd let a stranger like grab at me like that, and I did, and everything's okay. And I just thought, like, I really want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, all things are possible in the waste as long as you have consent.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Thanks, Kundalini.
That's a rad story.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, last question, because I know we're running late here. All right, I'm going to start with Team Rocket. If all of you guys want to answer this, is there one piece of advice that you would like to give somebody who's going to be attending for their first year in 2020?
Don't bring 50 gallons of tequila. Sorry.
If you have plans or ideas that you want to do, try to do those things, but at the same time, honestly, just let yourself exactly kind of do what you did. Have a walkabout and just see like what shenanigans you can honestly get yourself into. That's partially how I ended up joining the Cult of the Red Right Hand this year. I was just walking by and it's like, I already knew all that friends. I knew it was a thing, but I was just doing a walkabout. And right then I happened to be walking by and they happened to go, hey, you want to go to church right now? And I was like, you know what? Why not? And I sat down and oopsie, joined a cult.
Oopsie.
But did I do that?
Like, have plans, have an idea of what maybe you want to go check out, but just go have fun. And also, don't be scared to, like, some of the bigger tribes, like, they do look a little bit weirdly closed off, but honestly, if you just ask, hey, can I come in and can I sit down? Like, no one's really ever going to say no unless they do have some sort of, like, major dilemma going on right then. But even then, most of the time, they're not going to say no because they want to also help you as well. Like, just don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
I still tell myself that.
If I was going to give advice, the first piece would be what Team Rocket already said, so I won't reiterate that. But another piece sort of to tack on, don't feel bad or stress out about seeing everything or not seeing everything, because you will not. There are so many things going on all the time that even if you never stop walking, you will still miss stuff. So really just enjoy the things that you're doing. Nobody sees everything. It's even with a vehicle, it's not possible. So just go and enjoy the things that you're doing and try to avoid feeling like you're missing out on something else or like you have to rush to the next thing, because a lot of times you might end up feeling like you only got a shallow experience of a certain event because you were trying to do so much instead of really being able to take your time and enjoy the stuff that you were there to see and experience.
Yeah, that's good. I think a lot of people make that mistake, actually.
As someone who nonstop walks from place to place and has a lot of commitments, I assure you, it's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
I think there's a misconception too that people think they can do everything, which is just impossible.
Yeah.
No, you can find a way. You can pull a me.
I mean, I didn't see you at the Capri Sun chugging contest, so obviously you missed something.
Oh, darn it. Called out.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was at a wedding right then. I was at a wedding. I was a maid of honor at a wedding this year.
That's a you problem.
There will always be something else.
There's always something else going on. Yeah.
So just enjoy the things that you're at.
Yeah, I want to read Gemini's comment right now. She wants to add her first year. Yeah, so my first night, I went dancing at the pit and was a bit nervous to go and dance freely. And this tall, beautiful, bald woman came up to me with a large stick and drew half something in the dirt and whispered into my ear, "What are you waiting for?" And she was hooked. I'm like, that's beautiful.
Aw. That sounds like Kundalini. Did she go, oi, Gemini?
We will wait for the chat comment to see if that's what she said.
Oh, gosh. So advice, right.
My advice is when you're in the desert, you need to consume more water and start drinking water like a month beforehand and start getting your body used to the influx of hydration that you're going to be doing while you're there. Yeah, make sure you drink enough water, bring enough food, all of that basic, and also bring sunscreen and make sure that your sunscreen, you have chapstick that has sunscreen in it. Anything to provide. I'm a ginger. I'm very pale, so I spend a lot of time reapplying sunscreen, carrying a parasol, finding shade, doing things like that. There's a lot of people that don't expect that, and so my advice is just, you might not be hungry, you might not be thirsty, but make sure that you make your health a priority because nobody else is going to remind you to eat.
Absolutely.
Miss, may I suggest one additional question if people have, if any of us have answers for it?
Absolutely. No, go ahead. What the hell? We're already almost an hour over the time I'd say we'd be done.
Exactly.
We've only had a few sidetracks too.
We'll do this last question, and then, like I said, we'll open it up to anyone who's listening if they have any questions.
All right.
If you have one distinct memory, what would you say your favorite memory of Team Rocket is?
Oh,
let's start with Miss.
Wait, can I do how I earned my name, and then you guys can say yours? Because maybe not everyone.
Yes.
Early on, I was actually about to ask if you had always been blasting off again.
Meowth, that's right.
So, it was actually that first Winter Games where I also met the Death Caps. After my 2 shots of last breath, I happened to plop down by the car fire, and I sat there, and someone got me on a rant about Pokemon, and I thoroughly love Pokemon. And it apparently had been about half an hour or more so of me just going on and on and on. And finally, Big Disco, who happened to not be completely in the conversation, but nearby, just turned and went, he just told me, just stop. He goes, just, I need a minute. He goes, it's been so long. And I'm just staring at him, just mystified, because I didn't realize he had even been listening to what I had going on about. And then he looked at me. He goes, I don't recognize you. Do you have a name? And I was like, no, I'm just Aaliyah, you know? And he was like, okay, give me just a minute. And he basically did a lap around the area, and he came back and he's like, I have it. He goes, you need something that is on your energy level that's still somehow Pokemon related, but still works in this post-apocalyptic setting. He goes,
he gives good names.
He goes, you are Team Rocket. He goes, there's no other members. He goes, you have the energy of an entire team of people. You are Team Rocket. So I was dubbed that name, and that's why I'm oddly protective of the name too. Like at Wasteland, I don't go by Rocket. Yeah. I don't go by that. I am in fact Team Rocket.
Aww.
Yeah. So that is how I earned my name, and it's one of my favorite memories of Team Rocket. It's how I earned my name.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is really difficult for me to answer because we have a lot of memories together. I think it's actually, I don't know. The Devil's Head Dam is definitely one of them. The Winter Games, of course. There's another one I'm not going to go into detail where I was, let's say, intoxicated and profusely crying because I missed Team Rocket's dance. And I wasn't in my right mind, so I couldn't get over it. She was very cool about that. But I think one of the other ones, there's so many, I'm trying to keep it light because we've been through a lot together,
We
actually.
have.
So I'm trying to keep it like light and fun for this end cap. I remember one year. This is making me sound like an alcoholic. I swear I'm not.
Alcoholics
year-
go to meetings, drunks go to Wasteland. You're fine.
One year I was incredibly hungover, and I think I was trying to sleep in a car or something. It wasn't my normal spot, but I was like, oh my God, I feel terrible. And then like I was trying to like wash my face, and Team Rocket would not stop singing "What Would You Do with a Drunken Tailor?" And I was like, I remember I was with Grumpy. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And like, I think I like might have thrown water at you, and then you like scampered away, and then it came back like a second later and kept singing.
What
She
would you
is a
do with a
scamp.
drunken tailor? What would you do with a drunken tailor? What would you do with a drunken tailor? Early in the morning.
It was like having
What
a
did you
rumble
do with a
pack in my
drunken tailor?
brain.
Sing at her.
Annoyed the shit out of me. But
Annoy the shit out of her with a song.
it was beautiful. But I remember thinking, like, man, like, we must be really good friends. I must really like her, because anybody else, I'd be super mad right now. But I was still amused, even though it felt like there was a rumble pack in my brain. So what about you guys?
Go Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I have another. Wait, never mind. I'm not going to share that
No,
one.
no, go ahead. Go
No.
ahead. We insist.
It was at another Winter Games. I hope we don't get mad at me for sharing this, but
Okay.
we both drank quite a bit again, and Team Rocket was like, "I don't feel good." Ran over to the street, vomited really quickly, and was like, "Okay, let's go." and we went and did an escape room like right after that. But like it was like a second after. She literally went like, "Bleh, okay, let's go."
I mean,
I have the amazing ability to recover quite quickly.
Like I remember being like, "Did she throw up? Like it happened so quick."
That's phenomenal.
living her best life.
Yeah.
Just a star.
Then we ended up abandoning the escape room midway, but that's a whole other story. So anyway, somebody else's story.
Fahrenheit.
Yes, I would probably say my favorite memory with Team Rocket is at her request performing her Winter Games burlesque number of "Don't Stop Me Now," where she originally had messaged me, "Hey, would you want to be in a performance where I kidnap you?" And that performance was phenomenal. Involved knife fighting, and it actually inspired a lot of people to perform who later on came up and said, I thought about performing but never really felt confident about it. But your guys' performance and how Team Rocket did all of our stuff really inspired me to perform also, because it's not just, oh, I have to just take off all my clothes. You can do a lot more. But that was a really fun performance. I had a great time doing that with Team Rocket. And also during one of the practices, I misplaced my car. And Team Rocket was lovely enough to come and pick me up so I could still get ramen with the troop.
And you can
You
see
lost
that
your
whole
car?
I'm so worried about you.
Yeah, I lost the car. I circled the block on foot.
Did you
like
say,
3
dude, where's
times.
my car?
No, I did not. There was no other dude to speak to. Turns out
Bro.
I had shifted the layout of the blocks 180 degrees in my head. So I was circling all the blocks to the right when I had actually parked on the block to the left. So
All I'm hearing right now is that you needed Lady Fahrenheit there, who is the one that's good at directions.
you are confused about a few things, but
No, we have talked about this. Lady Fahrenheit has a sense of direction, and you do not. Because
Well,
I don't either.
well, be that as it may, I did not know where my car was. But eventually I was able to find it with a little bit of help.
You can also
Alright,
see
alright.
the whole of that performance on the channel if you check it out. It's pretty cool.
It does, and it has a lovely ending involving our Lord Marshal and just a phenomenal arrest.
Phenomenal.
Yep. I technically in lore, Team Rocket is still in probation for trying to kidnap the Nightmare of Wasteland City, and this year I will somehow be trying to work off that sentence. or
I mean, we
figure
can
out
talk.
something
Oh,
to,
yeah,
to get myself out of here.
you are talking to the right people that might be able to help commute that.
I can be bribed.
We'll talk.
Good to know.
Oh, if you ever thought the interpreter couldn't be bribed, you are foolish.
Don't worry, I will make sure the bribe is worth it for you as well.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what my favorite memory is, but there's so
Sorry, that was funny.
no. Yeah, there's so many that keep coming to my mind though. Like I remember meeting you at the build day, and that was an awesome day. That was a lot of fun. And then we did the photo shoot in Yermo with the Raging Ferals, and
That was
I remember,
fun.
yeah, it was so much fun. And I was like, hey, I want to photobomb this photo with my butt. Who wants to do it with me? And you're like, yes, okay, cool. What are we doing? And you're like super on board. I'm like, we're just standing next to Popeye, and we're just putting our butts in the photo. And you're like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, we're just putting our butts. Like, okay. And then the photographers are like, oh, da, da, da. And we're like, oh no, we just wanted to moon this photo.
Speaking of which,
yeah.
Team Right Cheek.
Oh, yes.
I will not
Team
admit which
Rocket-
one's my favorite.
Team Rocket is popular enough that her butt has a fan club.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember that. Yeah,
Even worse though, it's
shenanigans.
it's not the whole butt. It's you get your choice between do you like the right cheek
Individual
or the
cheeks.
left cheek.
I will not answer that.
That is fine.
Both
Right,
cheeks are
yeah.
equal.
I will not tell you which one's my favorite because I don't want you to stop showing me both of them.
All right.
Bushnack says, I have a question for whoever wants to take it. Well, what is your question? And hopefully you're still here to ask what I'm curious. It
Yeah,
better not be
question time.
Trolio.
Anyone who's still listening, do you guys want to ask questions now? Yeah.
It better
Hands
not
up.
be about that damn grilled cheese hut.
Grilled cheese hut's a thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in the grilled cheese hut? That's not what he's asking, but I wanna ask about it.
I've been to the
I
grilled cheese hut.
believe
I know
there
the
were
grilled cheese.
yeah. There were
I've
grilled
never been to the
cheeses
grilled cheese hut.
at Wasteland.
That doesn't mean there was a
Calamity
hut.
got a special grilled cheese made for them, so I know this does exist.
Oh,
However,
grilled-
one of the members, one of the pals that was a part of the Rabid Radstag was making grilled cheeses that very night, and I'm pretty sure that she was the one doing it, and that you're all liars.
Now, Ms., would I ever?
Yes.
No, I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to trust
would.
when it comes to this grilled cheese hut
He is
thing.
using his shady voice right now where I did something sneaky, but I don't want to admit it right now. He's using that voice.
I'm terribly mischaracterized.
Mm.
So Bushnack says, "What does James Bond do before he goes to?" Oh, wait, what? What does James Bond do
What?
before he goes to bed? I think
Ooh,
it's a
this is
setup for a
hard.
dad joke.
It's absolutely a dad joke.
This is totally a setup. It's set up.
What does James Bond do before he goes to bed?
He
He's-
goes undercover.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
It's absolutely terrible.
10 Asian Bistro.
An Asian bistro. That's always the answer.
All right. I
Are
think
there
with that,
Are there any other questions for Team Rocket?
I think we're gonna.
Did we
call
miss
it
any
after
questions
that.
on the list?
I don't think so.
Well, event Team Rocket.
I off the top of my head, no. This year again. So I always switch between my two most wanted bounties. So this year coming up, instead of Splash's bounty, it will be a Team Rocket bounty again this year. I don't think I want to do an exact repeat of what I did for 2018's bounty, but I want to do something very similar. I of course have performances. I have plans that I would love to do again and have more stuff going on. I poured milk on myself last year in the den, and there have been talks with Cameron from Road Rash that we will get into more shenanigans like that. Maybe
Love
some
him.
cake baking, maybe a nice ice cream social. But because it's going to be in the den, you know it's not going to be that. We're going to do our best. It's going to be super wholesome, guys. You can't see me winking right now.
All right. One last question. What's everyone's favorite dinosaur? Says Bushnack.
Z-Rex, he is with Uncle Zeke's. If you don't know who Z-Rex is, you're incorrect. Whatever your answer is, if it's not Z-Rex, it is invalid. I see you, Mark.
Love Z-Rex.
We're
Love
supposed to.
Z-Rex.
We're supposed to actually get some of the Zeke crew on the channel at some point. I got to see when they're free, so that'll be in the near future.
Fun.
Yeah, Bushneck was just setting us up for that.
Mm.
As for favorite dinosaur, I don't know. I'm thinking a Compy, the little guys. They're my favorite.
Because they're the scamps of the dinosaur world.
They are the scamps of the dinosaur world. Plus, I'm pretty sure they had feathers, which would make them pretty much just like like a parrot or something with slightly longer arms. And I think that that's just great.
Also, aren't you the person that asked me on Tuesday night of Wasteland last year what my favorite dinosaur was?
That was 100%
Yeah.
Miss. Yep.
Yeah.
Bushneck asked, I think everybody in the tribe what their favorite dinosaur was, and then I just started asking everybody I saw what their favorite dinosaur was. So there's
And
I think
I just made noises.
yeah, I think you're in the video. I think you're in the part 2 video.
Probably hand motions and yeah.
That kind.
hmm
She also has a great raptor dance.
Do you really?
Yes. You can ask Wiley about my raptor impression.
What about you, Fahrenheit? What's your favorite dinosaur?
It's a hard call. I like quite a few. But I guess at this particular moment, I would say my current favorite would be Dilophosaurus.
What is that?
It might not necessarily be paleontologically accurate, but in Jurassic Park, it was the one that spit poison or acid.
That one was cool.
Yes, the spitter. Dilophosaurus was very cool. And I like the big frill was great. The colors
Didn't
were
it
great.
kill Newman?
Oh, it absolutely wrecked the shit out of Dennis Nedry.
Wonderful. All right, let's call this. I want to thank my mayoral cabinet for being here. I want to especially thank Team Rocket for being here. We got to get you on again.
Yay. Yes.
Thank you,
I would
Team
love
Rocket.
to be.
Wait,
Thank
what was
you.
Team Rocket's favorite dinosaur?
Velociraptor. Easy.
Okay.
Done.
Phenomenal.
Love that little thing.
Classic
Duh.
dinosaur. Now, when
I
you
will
say
show you my dance.
we have to see. Can we record it and put it on here?
Oh, there's
Absolutely.
definitely recordings of it somewhere.
Anyway, thank you to everybody who's joined us for the first mayoral address and the first Wastelander of the month on here. The next one will, of course, be next month. Stay tuned on the social media to see when it will be. Thank you guys for joining me on here.
Thank you
for
for
the
having us,
invite.
Ms.
Yay. Thank you.
See you guys at the end of the world.
Yes.